On a quiet Christmas afternoon, inside the warm glow of Holly and Hearth Bistro, a young woman named Loretta Hayes sat alone by the window, staring at a glass of water she hadn't touched. She had dressed her best. She had rehearsed her smile in the mirror. She had convinced herself that maybe, just maybe, today would be different. Today, someone might finally choose her. But life, as always, had other plans. The man she was supposed to meet walked in, took one quick look at her, whispered something to the hostess, and walked right back out into the snow. He didn't greet her. He didn't say hello. He didn't even give her a chance. And in that small, painful moment, Loretta felt something inside her break a little. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a quiet ache. The kind you try to hide so the world doesn't see how deeply it hurt. She kept her eyes down, pretending she didn't notice. Pretending she didn't feel humiliated. Pretending she didn't feel invisible in a restaurant filled with couples laughing, families celebrating, and people who seemed to belong somewhere. But Loretta, she belonged nowhere. Not today. Because after losing her parents, after walking away from a relationship that drained the best parts of her, she had spent years convincing herself she was okay. She had rebuilt her life, step by fragile step. But nothing prepared her for the loneliness of moments like this. Moments when the world outside sparkled with love. Yet her heart felt completely forgotten. And still, she tried to smile. She refused to cry in public. She whispered to herself, "It's fine. It's okay. You'll be okay." But her voice trembled. Because the truth was, she wasn't okay. Not even close. And yet, what Loretta didn't know, what she couldn't know, was that life was about to shift in a way she never expected. Because sometimes, when your heart feels its emptiest, that's when kindness walks in. And in just a moment, something small, something innocent, something unbelievably pure, would step toward her table and change everything. Loretta didn't know how long she sat there, staring at the snow drifting past the window of Holly and Hearth Bistro. Her blind date had left, but the sting still sat heavy on her chest. That familiar whisper that maybe she just wasn't enough. She reached for her bag, ready to leave, when the soft patter of tiny footsteps stopped her. Two little girls, twins, stood at the edge of her table wearing matching red Christmas dresses, clutching stuffed bears that looked as loved as they were worn. Their blue eyes sparkled like they carried their own little Christmas lights inside them. The braver twin lifted her chin to the tabletop and whispered, "Hi." Her sister peeked from behind her shoulder, shy but hopeful. The kind of hope children carry before the world teaches them to be afraid. Loretta blinked in surprise. "Hello," she said softly, her voice still fragile from holding back tears. The girls didn't speak at first. They just stared at her with a gentleness she wasn't prepared for, as if they could see the sadness she tried so hard to hide. And somehow, their silence felt like comfort. Before Loretta could ask where their parents were, a man approached. Tall, tired-eyed, but kind. His name was Ethan Wells. He apologized breathlessly, explaining the twins, Mira and Lila, tended to wander whenever something shiny and nice caught their attention. Then he noticed Loretta's red eyes, the untouched water, the empty chair. There was a softness in his expression, a quiet understanding. "Rough day?" he asked gently. Loretta nodded, swallowing the truth she usually hid. To her surprise, Ethan didn't judge, didn't pry. He simply offered a warm, steady presence. The kind you don't realize you need until it appears. The twins tugged at Loretta's sleeve, asking if she would sit with them. Their innocence cracked something open inside her. A place where loneliness had been living for far too long. And before she knew it, Loretta agreed. Ethan smiled, the kind of smile that carried gratitude and something quieter. A man trying his best to raise two little girls while carrying heartbreak of his own. As they talked, Loretta found herself laughing softly. The twins showed her their bears. Ethan shared how this Christmas had been harder than any before. And for a moment, the loneliness that filled Loretta's heart lifted. Not because her pain disappeared, but because someone finally saw it. Someone stayed. If stories of kindness and second chances touch your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kind Soul Corner. You help stories like this reach more beautiful souls. Inside the warm glow of the bistro, the afternoon slowly melted into early evening. Snow drifted past the windows like soft pieces of heaven, and for the first time in a long while, Loretta Hayes didn't feel like she was watching life happen without her. She was part of it. She sat at the small wooden table with Mary and Lainey curled against her side, two tiny hearts that somehow sensed the cracks inside her, and chose her anyway. Their laughter came in little bursts, like bells ringing through winter air, and every time Loretta looked at them, her chest ached in a way that wasn't painful, but healing. Across from them, Ethan Wells watched quietly. At first, he had only meant to apologize for his daughters wandering off. But watching them cling to Loretta as though they had known her far longer than an hour, something in him softened. Something in him shifted. His eyes held a gratitude he couldn't quite put into words. When he finally spoke, his voice was low, steady, and warm. "Thank you," he said, "for being kind to them. For being kind to me." Loretta felt her breath hitch gently. No one had thanked her like that. Not in years. They talked. Slowly, honestly. Ethan told her about losing his wife. Loretta told him about her parents. Two people carrying their own broken pasts, somehow finding comfort in each other's presence. As the twins drifted to sleep against her arms, Loretta realized how natural it felt. Holding them, listening to Ethan, sitting in a place she had almost fled in shame just hours ago. She had come here expecting rejection. She had come here expecting to be forgotten. Instead, she found this. A father doing his best. Two little girls craving warmth. And a moment that felt like the universe whispering, "You are not alone anymore." Ethan hesitated before speaking again, voice quiet with hope he tried to hide. "I know today didn't go the way you planned. But, if you're open to it, I'd like to see you again. All of us would." Loretta looked down at the sleeping twins, then at Ethan, whose tired eyes held a gentle sincerity that warmed her more than the bistro's lights ever could. For the first time that day, she didn't have to force a smile. It came naturally. "I'd like that," she whispered. Outside, the snow continued falling, brushing the world in soft white light. But inside the bistro, something else was falling into place. As Loretta stepped out with Ethan beside her and the twins snuggled sleepily in his arms, she understood something she never expected to learn on this broken Christmas afternoon. Sometimes life removes the people who were never meant to stay, so it can guide you toward the ones who were always meant to find you. Not by accident, but by grace. And that night, under the quiet snowfall, Loretta Hayes didn't walk home alone. She walked toward a beginning she never saw coming. A beginning she truly deserved. If this story touched your heart, even just a little, please take a moment to like this video. Your support helps these stories reach more beautiful souls around the world. And before you go, I want to ask you something. Have you ever experienced a moment when life suddenly gave you something better than what you thought you lost? Maybe a person, a friendship, a second chance, or the kind of kindness that shows up when you least expect it. Tell us your experience in the comments. We read every single one. And if you believe that kindness and unexpected blessings still exist, please share this story with someone who might need a little hope today. Don't forget to subscribe to Kind Soul Corner for more heartwarming stories like this one. Until next time, stay kind, stay hopeful, and remember, sometimes the rejection you fear is only life redirecting you toward the love you truly deserve.